करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So, having described in detail how Svarga is a lovely place bereft of Lord Yama, he then, Nachiketa, then proceeds to ask of him the shortcut method to go to this place called Svarga. This is how desires start. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. The association with a particular thing which is either directly experienced or seen or indirectly heard about causes the desire to go there. Somebody comes and says, "Oh, you haven't been to Valley of Flowers? Oh my God, I have no right to be alive. Valley of Flowers. It's so exotic. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" In the Himalayas. "Oh, it's all the time flowering?" No. Only October 2nd to October 13th. They will be precise, just to make you want to go there. And actually, really, 3 days, 7th, 8th and 9th. That's the best days. Oh. Okay. Well, where Himalayas, where I'm sitting here, how will I go? October 7th, 8th, 9th. Well, I'm not doing anything those days. No, I don't think. Well, what is there? I can just look at some photos. I can Google, look at the photos and get happy. And one proceeds to do that. Then you say, and then nowadays they track all the things. So if you Google a particular place, Google is the greatest tracker in the thing. That's why you should not have anything to do with Google, really. This Google this, Google that, it's very bad. And Gmail is particularly famous for, they read all your emails. Yeah, even before the NSA, they started to read your emails. And then what do? They are not interested in what you're saying. They are interested in how to market you the things that you like. So you Google Valley of Flowers and then all pictures come. And then along with that, on the sidebar, one advertisement comes. Delta Airlines. Cheap flights. Then you say, "Oh, what's the harm? Let me just go and look. Let me go on some travel site and look for the cheapest thing." Oh my God, $1,500? No way. I'm not going. Forget it. The pictures were enough. The pictures were also not that good. Okay? Then another ad comes. Wholesale tickets to India. Cheap. Oh, where? New York. Oh, but I have to get to New York. I'm in the West Coast. Never mind. Let's one thing at a time. That's what Vedanta teacher said. So let's just look at the India fair. You go to that site. Wholesale site. $650. They will start like that. $699. Oh my God, see, these were daylight robbers. Here I'm getting for $699. $699 if you go after 5 years. That's what they are advertising. The route that you want, the day that you want to go, it will never be $699. You just have to put a 1 in front of it. It will be $1699. And still strangely you feel consoled because you have bought it from a wholesale site. And you will have no guarantees which you get with the regular airlines because they flip you from here to there. They charge more money in the name of being wholesale. You have wholesalely been duped. That's all. Only duped. And then you say, "Okay, now I have already purchased the ticket. Too late to back out." And they make sure you don't because they charge you an astronomical fee to even think of changing it. You have to pay $100. If you really change it, you have to pay $150. Then you say, "All right, I'm going." This is how the desire motivates you to actually get there. And then you look for the travel agent, the tickets, etc. So here he has found a travel agent, Lord Yama. He is now bargaining and negotiating the prices. And he is saying which route is the best route to take. I have heard that there is a route. What is the route to heaven? See, for an example, we can say, okay, we can go this way, that way, in terms of how to go to Friendly Street Market, from here. Oh, it's just a straight shot, keep going straight. Here you can say that and not tell a lie. In India, whatever you ask, they say keep going straight. But here it happens to be true. You go out of the house, keep going straight on this road, take a right, keep going straight, and you will reach it. But heaven is not like that. Heaven is not a place, it's not a location, and it's a location not in Ihaloka, not right here. So the same GPS will be out of range when you try to, map out how to go to heaven. I told you already, unknown means known ends. The end is known, but how to get there is not. Unknown means, here is where the Shruti comes. The first portion of the Veda comes and bails you out of this desire by telling, I know how to get there. What do I have to do? I told you, go look in the backyard, see how much firewood is in stock. Then go to Home Depot, get some bricks, or make your own. Make your own, better. And those bricks have to dry in the baby sun, and when they are dried, there should not be any cracks there. Because there will be cracks between your karma and karma phala. It will fall through. Karma phala, fruit of action, will fall through. And assemble the bricks, invoke Ishvara. Here is where you bring Ishvara, you bring a prayer to the truth of the manifest world along with the Creator. This is who is addressed through the Agni. The Agni becomes the fire becomes a medium. Yeah. Fire becomes a medium. For what? For this. To take this prayer, please, I want to go to heaven, and you take this Bhagavan, you worship Bhagavan in the form of the manifest universe along with the power of manifestation. This is called Virat Upasana. Virat. Virat means the waker along with the waking world is called Virat. So I am along with the whole, I am included in this Upasana. Because the entire waking world of duality of names and forms, you transcend the objects and you see the truth of Bhagavan everywhere. And you invoke that force, that knowledge, that creative status which has brought all these things to be, which includes yourself as well. So this, how to go to heaven, the map to go to heaven is through the fire ritual, that is part A. Like Medicare, it has two parts. And part B is what? You have to sit and meditate. How long? A lot. A lot. In fact, it's easier. Even then there are no guarantees. Only after the body has been peeled away, then you decide whether the yajna worked or not, because there is no way of corroborating whether indeed a seat has been secured to you in heaven. Whether the velvet chair has your name on it, there is no way of knowing. How are you going to ascertain that? No way at all. All based on Shraddha, faith. At least in Vedanta we say Shraddha is faith pending understanding. That I am the whole, I don't know, but I can sense that it is true. And I'm going to give it the benefit of doubt until the teaching reveals itself to me. Until I can understand it, I'm going to keep that doubt, give that benefit. I'm going to keep that doubt at bay and have that reverence that I'm going to learn this. That is Shraddha. For the second portion of the Veda, Shraddha is described as faith pending understanding. Here there is no understanding. What understanding? You meditate. You look at Virat everywhere. You put some fire sticks, you put some bricks, you arrange them in a square. You call it Vedi. And then you offer from the left, offer from the right, offer from the front, never from the back. And and all these things you do. And then you just somehow hope that it will translate to your going. How you are going, you can't, hire a taxi. Like New York, you can just go hail a taxi. Here there is no taxi there. Agni is the taxi. Yeah, fire is the taxi. It motors you down. You just have to have faith. There is no understanding. So first portion of the Veda is purely belief based. The second portion, Vedanta, is based on understanding. There it's the belief that there is such a thing called Virat, and this Virat is the relationship I have with Virat is one of give me, help me, save me, give me this, give me that. So the Virat becomes an object of my reverence and worship because the Virat holds the keys to heaven. He has a big bunch of keys and he can open the gate and let me in, usher me in. So therefore, somehow the yajna, the fire ritual done here, the fire becomes the vehicle for not to carry me but the punyas. First the punyas reach there, and then the gatekeeper of heaven looks at the punya list and says check, 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 okay, they can come. That's how one goes. But there is no way of reserving the seat. You never know if you've done it or not. So what? Here we have to see that this heaven that is desired by Nachiketa. He is asking for the shortest route, the quickest way, and he has heard that there is a fire ritual. Interesting, he doesn't ask for that same fire ritual which the father did. He could have asked, tell me how to do Vishwajit. But he doesn't do that. Why? Because they cannot do Vishwajit again. They don't have anything anymore. They've given everything away. And Vishwajit was not successful because that it was disrupted by his sudden departure. And so therefore what? Therefore, he's asking for another one that Yama knows. Yama knows a lot. And Yama himself wanted to go to heaven and become a celestial. And secretly, Yami kept telling him, study Vedanta. Let's go to class. He was not that interested. He's going to tell all this. Some of it is poetic license, Vedantic license. A lot of it, all of it. Yami said, study Vedanta. There is such a thing called Kathopanishad. I have heard you feature in it. Study. Yama said, this life is so impermanent. And, one day they were having coffee in the porch, having a nice time. Both husband and wife were sitting and having some deep talk. And Yama said, everything is so impermanent. Yami started to feel very happy. Yami said, that's exactly what I have been telling too. We need a permanent place. Then she said, oh, this is not going where I thought it's going. We need to secure some permanence. Here is the book of the Veda, leaf of the Veda. Look, this wonderful Agni. Agni means fire ritual, not just fire. Agni is given, this fire ritual is given. It says that if you meditate this much and do this, she said, put that palm leaf away right now. Don't do this. Don't do this to you yourself. Don't do this to us. I don't want this. And he said, yes, And in fact, she took away and put that palm leaf away, took it away from his hands. And then what? After she went to sleep, he slowly got it out, and night after night, even though he kept saying, you know what, Yummy is always right. Irritating, annoying, no doubt, but she's always correct about these things. I should listen to her. But somehow his hand would pour one more ghee. No, this is not correct. Okay, one ritual I did enough. No, it should be done 3 times without fail, consecutively, without any problems. If you do 2 and the second one had some problems, you can't just do the third, you have to do 1, 2, 3 again. You know? And then finally he finished one time very well and he said, okay, I'll just do it once nicely, I won't do it again and again. And then Yummy says, how come you're looking your eyes are all red, you're not sleeping? Yeah, a little bit, not sleeping too much, lot of work. She doesn't think much about it, she knows he's up to some mischief. Then he said, let's do it one more time. Just one more time. Twice. I won't do it the third time, promise. He became a yajnaholic. To get it right, the second time he had to do the first time again many times. And then what? Then he said, I have got 2 times fully, I have done it. Only one more time I have to do it. What will happen? Nothing will happen. And then what? He does it one more time. And they find themselves, the celestial, he wanted to cross death. That's why. And become permanent. So he got a permanent appointment as death. It's the irony of Bhagavan as the giver of the fruits of action. He got this celestial appointment, which is for several thousand years. But even after that he is replaced. Several hundreds of thousands of years. 4 yugas make 1 kalpa. This yuga is 436,000 years. Multiply that by 4 and then multiply that again by 3 and then multiply by 2 is equal to 1 kalpa. Satu Treta Dwapara plus Kali. And add it all is equal to 1 kalpa. So for as long as that Yama will be in charge, the same Yama. And then what? They will be replaced by another Yama Yami. At that time their name was not Yama Yami. Maybe it was Shama Shami. Who knows? But he had no Shama. So he became Yama. That's what happened. And he says that, he confesses. Janamiham Shevadhihi iti anityam. Shevadhi means this treasure of the so-called permanence is impermanent. I knew this. I know this. Tathapi, tatrapi, even though I knew this, he's going to confess later on. Even though I knew this. Maya Chito Nachiketa Agni, this Agni, which is going to be named after Nachiketa, was repeatedly invoked by me. This ritual was repeatedly performed by me. Anityaihi dravyaihi prarthamanasmi nityam, he says. What was I thinking? By using dravyas. Dravyas means materials used for the puja, the yajna. Like what? Ghee, firewood, things like that. Yeah. So, these are all permanent or impermanent? Impermanent. How can you gain, by using impermanent materials, how can you gain permanence? He asks. What a fool I was. Yeah. So, that is why, because he has learnt his lesson, he never goes against Yami's words. She says, Hara, why Vaspata Udaka? Because you have put us in this horrible state here. You have to listen to me. And he says, yes, dear. Here I am bringing the water. Yeah, it makes sense. So, then the next boon he asks for after having described heaven. in the manner that in which it is described. Sattvam swargyamadhyeshi mrityo.
Sattvam swargamadhyeshi mrityo.
Prabruhitvam shraddhadhanaya mahyam.
Prabruhitvam shraddhadanaya mahyam.
Swargaloka amritatvam bhajante.
Swargaloka amritatvam bhajante.
Etadvitiyena vrine varena.
Etadvitiyena vrine varena.
Satvam saha agnihi. Saha, what does saha refer to here? That, saha. What is saha referring to here? Sahatvam mrityuhu agnim sahatvam. Saha is referring to tvam. Yeah, very interesting. What is that? Construction. Sahatvam means the one who is in this form. Which form? The one who knows. Sahatvam janasi. That one who is you, who knows. The one such as yourself. That is what sahatvam. Otherwise is not really used together. But here the one who is of such a description, which is going to come. Who is who? Mrityuhu. Mrityo, hey Mrityo, O death. The one such as yourself. Sahatvam. What do you, Adhyeshi. Agnim Adhyeshi. Teach me the fire ritual. Literally it means. Adhyeshi also means, when you say teach, you mean please recall for me. Madartham smara. In fact, even creation is a recollection. That knowledge is already there. How it is done is recalled. So please recall for me, who is this you? Saha Prajanan. Prajanan is in the next one or this one? Yeah, no, next one, yeah. So that Saha is also for that next Prajanan, knowing the one who knows. Adhyeshi means the one who knows, please teach, because otherwise he will not go to the somebody who doesn't know. Prabruhi. Bruhi means teach, tell me. Prabruhi means teach me until I understand. Tvam, for emphasis. You please teach me. Unto whom? Mahyam. For my sake. What kind of Mahyam? Shraddhadhanaya. Shraddhavate Mahyam. Shraddhavan. The one who is filled with Shraddha. I am not asking you from an empty feeling of doubt. Is there heaven? Is there not? Will I go there? Should I go there? How to go there? Oh, I don't think, even though it calls for 2 buckets of ghee, I will only use, few teaspoons, it's enough. No such thing. I have total Shraddha, because that is the bridge between the means and the ends. I don't know how it's going to do, but since the Veda is saying, the Veda is always Hitakari, Hitakarini. She is the mother. Shruti is always doing things for my good, saying things for my good. Somebody is good. Because for any desire for every desire there is some taker or the other. You find this even in garage sales. One wonders who will buy this. You go to the garage sale to pick up something, and then there is some monstrosity sitting there. And then even though it is cheaply priced, you wonder who on earth is going to buy this thing. Even if they give free and put some dakshina on top of it, nobody will take. You can't pay someone to take it. If you say that, sure enough, along comes someone right in front of you and buys that and is delighted with that. So for everything there is a taker. Even Karela, that bitter gourd. The fellow who is a pumpkinaholic, loves pumpkins. looks at the Karela seller and says, ha ha ha, your life is going to be so bitter because who's going to come to you? I'm going for the pumpkin. And the person who's buying the Karela by kilograms looks at the pumpkin, the one who's buying pumpkins, so it's a pumpkin seller, and says, who's going to buy all these pumpkins? And the one who is buying for pumpkins is looking at the bitter gourd fellow and saying, who's going to buy all this? But there is a taker for everything. So here, adhyeshitvam madartham mahyam, for my sake, please teach. And who is this mahyam? Shraddha dhanaya. Adhanaya, the one who is who has abiding Shraddha. So not Shraddha that comes and goes. A Shraddha that is in a holding pattern is able to hold the Shraddha. Unto such a person, unto this Mahyam, please teach. Adhyeshi, please, Madartham Smara, teach me this. And Prabruhi, teach me until I understand, until everything is very clear. And why do I need to know? Swargalokaha, the Swargaloka here doesn't mean loka, the people in the loka. Swargalokaha, the people in the loka, what do they have? What do they do? Bhajante, here sevante, enjoy. What do they enjoy? Bhajante doesn't mean they sit and do bhajans. Okay? Yeah. Sevante, enjoy. They experience, bhaja, sevayam. So they enjoy, they gain, they experience. What do they experience? Amritatvam, immortality. What kind of immortality? Quick, temporary immortality. Yeah. A relative immortality, meaning freedom from you. For the time being that they are there, they experience Swargalokaha. Here Swargalokaha doesn't mean all the lokas, it means the people. Swargaha lokaha yesham te tesham. Swargalokaha. It's referring to the people, the population of heaven. The heavenly populace enjoys a relative permanence, relative freedom from you. Etat, this one, in the form of the second bone, dvitiyena varena, in the itham bhave, dvitiyena varena vrine, I choose. This is the boon I choose. So to summarize, what is he saying? Hey Mrityo, O death, the one such as yourself should definitely know the way to heaven. I know it. I know how you defied Yami and did all those, midnight rituals. and I know all this. And what is this that you know? You know how to go. What is the way, quickest way to ritual for heaven? So tell me until I understand. And he also says, because I'm deserving to know this. I have what it takes. I have the Shraddha. I'm not asking out of an empty curiosity. Oh, by the way, what's behind this fence? Or by the way, what's behind door number 3? I'm not asking out of a casual curiosity. I'm asking because I am a seeker. I'm a seeker of permanence, and I think that permanence is equal to heaven right now. I've heard that. And I've heard that the people who live in heaven enjoy this permanence, relative permanence, and so please, I select this as my second boon, in the form of the second boon. Bhashya. Evam guna vishishtasya Swargalokasya Prapti Sadhana Bhutam Agnim Sattvam Mrityuhu Adhyeshi Smarasi Janasi Ityartha. So, evam guna vishishtasya. This is a typical, beautiful way of putting things and very precise. Evam guna vishishtasya. Endowed for that, of that heaven, which is endowed, Vishishta, by these aforementioned qualities. Evam means in this manner. Which manner? That was aforementioned. Swarge loke na kinchana bhayam asti, na tatratvam, na jaraya bibheti, ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipase, swargatigo modate, shokatigo modate, swarga loke. Evam means in that manner. Evam guna, attributes, endowed with the aforementioned attributes, and that sixth case. So for that heaven which is endowed with the aforementioned attitude, and what is that endowed with the aforementioned attitude? Swargaloka. Swargalokasya. And of that heaven, for that heaven, prapti, the gain. So the gain of that heaven which is endowed with the aforementioned qualities, sadhana bhutam agnim adhyeshi. Please teach me the means. The fire ritual, which is the means. Sadhana bhutam means that which is in the form of means. Means. And what is that means? The fire ritual, agnim adhyeshi, teach me. And what does teach me means? Marasi. Remember. How can you remember if you don't know? That means janasi tvam, you know it. Therefore, please recall it for my sake. I know you know it. Because I saw the light in the backyard. So, you were doing yajna on the sly. Anyway, so janasi ityartha, that is the meaning. He mrityo, yastvam, no, yatastvam, prabruhi kathaya, shraddhadhanaya, shraddhavate mahyam, swargarthine. Yeah. He mrityo, O death, yataha means therefore, because of all these reasons, prabruhitvam means tell me in detail. And who is this? Shraddhadhanaya, unto me who is full of Shraddha. And how can you be full of Shraddha? Because I want heaven. I am a Swargarthin. You know? Swargarthi. Swargam arthyati iti. You know, Swargarthi. Swargam arthyate. Swargarthi. So, I'm a arthi, a beggar, an asker, a wanter, a seeker. Of what? Swarga. I'm a seeker of Swarga. And if I'm a seeker of Swarga, that means I'm a serious seeker of this fire ritual which is connected to Swarga. So, Swargarthine, and then that is what, please tell me, I am filled with Shraddha. Yena, Agnina Chitena, Swargalokaha, Swargo Loko Yesham Te, Swargalokaha, Yajamanaha, Amritatvam, Amaranatam, Devatvam, Bhajante, Prapnuvanti, Tad etad, Agnivijnanam, Dvitiyena Varena, Vrine. Yeah. So he says, very straightforward, not much because we have already explained it. It goes a little fast. And Yena Agnina, by which fire ritual? Chitena, meaning Chitena means to actually practice. By the practice, by the lighting of which fire ritual? By the actual performance. Chita means Chayanam, to collect, to practice, to perform. By the performance of which fire ritual? Swargalokaha, Swargaha, Lokaha, Yesham Te. So the inhabitants of heaven, who are the inhabitants of heaven and Adi Shankara cannot, cannot resist a small dig here. He says all the people sitting there have just kept on putting ghee in this Agni. That's how they got there. They're all lying in wait there. So those Yajamanas, I want to join. Nachiketa is as though saying, and he says, Swargalokaha, these Swargas, the occupants of Swargas, who were previously like me, full of Shraddha, full of wanting to do things, and apparently what have they got there? Amritatvam, Amarana Dharma. Amarana Dharma means without the attribute of not dying. Amaranatam, Amarana Dharma. The attribute of not dying, at least while they are there. Afterwards and before, don't ask. But while they are there, they are freed of death. So, Amarana Dharma, Dharman, Prapnuvanti, Bhajante means gain. Bhajante doesn't mean that they are going and worshipping there. They gain, they enjoy. So, they reach, they enjoy, they gain. So, they gain a relative Amaranatam, a relative Amritatvam, a relative immortality from the fear of death, at least while they are there. It's like a temporary stay order. Death is not allowed to come. Tad etad agni vijnanam, that knowledge of that fire, vijnanam here is not atma jnanam, the knowledge of the fire ritual, I choose as the second boon. And then what does Yama say? Yama doesn't say, you know what, I made this mistake. Don't do that. He doesn't say that. Why?
He said he give the boons.
Huh?
He said that he give the boons.
He said he'll give the boons. Whatever he asks, he should not argue with him. But then, the third boon, even though he said he would, he argues. Interesting. He says, you don't need this. He could have said, here, you don't need this. Why? What level? What level he'll come? He'll say, join the Yajamanas.
To test.
Not even to test. Guru doesn't test. Guru neither tests, nor should the Guru be testy. So, Guru doesn't test. Very interesting. He argues with him with the next boon. He tries to do substitution. You wait and see. So, it's not so. He says, instead of this, take that. Just like when cooking we say, no gluten, no egg, no flour, no sugar. Everything has substitutes. You use agave, and then instead of sugar you use agave syrup. Instead of flour you use something else, flowers. And then instead of chocolate you use carob. Instead of coffee you use chicory. So lots of substitutions are there, and here he negotiates with him, take this instead. He should have done that here also. Especially if he has done the yajna on the sly, and because he couldn't resist his desire to go to heaven and he has already been burned and he is there, he should have warned this little fellow off. But he doesn't. He should have said, there is a better knowledge. He doesn't, because as the end of the second Valli is going to say, do not give this knowledge unless it is sincerely asked for. He said, I am full of Shraddha, but for this Agni, he didn't say I am full of Shraddha to know this knowledge. Right? So the teaching is not like Jehovah's Witness. You don't go knocking and uninvited in every house and then proceed to make them listen to what you have to say, whether they want it or not, whether they like it or not. This is called on the spot trying to convert. We don't do that. This knowledge has to be asked for, and even if it's asked for casually, this is like you meet the teacher in the grocery store. Oh, how are you? I'm fine, how are you? Oh, wonderful. I'm also doing very well. Oh, good, good, good. Oh, by the way, sometime we should get together and talk about Vedanta. The teacher will not teach. Will not teach. There is a method of approaching for the knowledge. There's a way of asking, and there's a way of showing the commitment. There's a way of persevering with it, and all that falls on the lap of the student. Now, and for that sake, the teacher is there only for the sake of the student. And so therefore that relationship has to be guarded properly. And so I have to be in right relationship with the teacher and the teaching. This is going to be shown very beautifully later. It's coming now, after we get through this fire ritual. Very beautifully talked about. You see how Nachiketa, once he wants this, he aligns himself. The way he addresses also changes. Here he will use the lot, prabruhi, kurhu, imperative mood. Bruhi is imperative mood. And the respect, the discipline around the teaching arena, around the teacher, the respect for the teacher is all to enhance the ability for the student to stay in a place of receptivity. That is what it is designed to. And to make it, it's a very personal relationship, but it thrives on an impersonality. And what we think is an impersonality, meaning it's totally devoid of dysfunctionality. It's the only relationship that has that potential. That's why it has to be so carefully guarded. And until the person wants this freedom, then you don't want the teacher. The teacher just becomes one more person in the universe. Oh, we should get together and have tea sometimes. And you can talk to me about Vedanta. As though, it's like the teacher is not a part of the tea time snack. But this is not what it is. So the whole thing is different. And the teachers are taught never to interfere in the gamut of the students, not students, the general people's desires. And this is also a typical way where people approach teachers not for the knowledge but to seek something else. Here he doesn't approach for the knowledge first. What does he say? I want permanence, and this is what I have heard is that, and you are not there, and so you please tell me how I can achieve this celestial status that you have. So many times people come. People come to Pujya Swamiji, my marriage broke. Please help me get back together with my ex. And Pujya Swamiji will do whatever he can. But then that becomes a stepping stone for Vedanta. When the ex, has gone next. Yeah. X has moved on to someone else. So the X is no longer a possibility, right? And so where to take that disappointment? Then they will come to Swamiji and say, all right, nothing has worked, let's try Vedanta. So many times people come, and people come for all kinds of reasons. Get me a proper doctor. People come, they'll go to gurus. I'm having all these ailments. Get me a doctor, get me some money, get me a honey, get me, I want somebody in my life I don't have. They tell, and even nowadays people have started to ask me, my daughter is of marriageable age, do you know, you travel around so much, do you know anyone? Do you know anyone that you can recommend? Because they trust, that's why. But here, what I am giving the example of is people who are already studying who are asking this. But usually it's the other way around. They'll come and say, please find someone for my son, for my daughter. Please, you must know someone in the, this Swamiji gets this all the time. You must know somebody in the education, the university. So please write a recommendation, please call them and then tell them to admit my child. My daughter is not getting, we moved to this town recently and she's not getting admission in the college because all the dates are done, deadlines are over. They first come to the Swami for that. They come for financial trouble, emotional trouble, some fear, some problems. And now if not financial problems, this feud between family members over property, over incompatibility. This is why they generally approach the Guru for this, And it is a well-known fact since ancient times. And therefore the Upanishad, the Mundaka Upanishad, makes a very interesting comment at the end. Atmajnam hi archayet bhuti kamaha. Bhuti kama means this, not mukti kama, bhuti kama. Bhuti is samsara. Bhu plus tin, bhutihi. Bhuti means this life of becoming. So nobody approaches the Guru for permanence. They all approach for impermanent ends and means. And the Upanishad allows this. Because where else will they go? Where else will they go? If they go to someone else, they are also having a whole list of problems. They are going to say, I don't have time to listen to your problems. You don't even know how many pages long my problems will run if I write about them. So go away. Each one is going to say that. Even if somebody listens, they will listen, yes, 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 and they are checking the messages on their phone. They are not listening. You don't feel satisfied. You don't feel resolved. So it is archayet. It's almost like a vidhi. It's expected, and there is a may the person who is interested in relative ends, not the ultimate end, approach who? Atmajnam, the one who knows the Atma. But isn't that a waste of the Atmajna? I mean, here is a person of self-knowledge sitting ready to deliver that knowledge which delivers you from samsara. And here, what a waste of such a person. So somebody says, oh, please open my bank account. In Bank of India, I want an account. Well, this is the way of the world. And the Upanishad acknowledges that. And so if you have those kinds of desires, don't ask the neighbor. Go to an Atmajna, the one who is a teacher of self-knowledge, the one who has self-knowledge. But why? What's the connection? Atmajna means Atma, Atmanam Janati. The one who knows Atma is Atmajna. So why should I go to Atmajna when I don't have the desire for Atma? What do I have the desire for? Anatma. So why it's almost opposite. If I have desire for Anatma, not Atma, everything finite and impermanent, why do I have to go to Atmajna, the one who knows Atma? It's like saying you want, advice on stocks and bonds. Yes, I do. Go to the horse whisperer. You know what is Why should I go to horse whisperer? I'm neither a horse nor I'm interested in buying horses. Horse should go to horse whisperer. Someone who is, wanting horses should go to horse whisperer. Here I'm wondering where to invest my money. Go to horse whisperer. I need a stockbroker. I don't need a horse whisperer. But here it's almost like this. Bhuti kamaha atmajnam hi. He indeed. Yasmat. Both. Archayet. May you, not archayet doesn't mean approach. May the person interested in samsaric gains go and worship the person of knowledge. Worship their feet. What is the connection? Because if you know Atma, you know Anatma also. Number one. There is nothing, no Anatma. Anatma resolves into Atma. Yena vijnanena sarvam vijnatam iva bhavati. And Shaunaka's question, Kasminnu vijnate, knowing which everything becomes known. This person who knows Atma knows everything. And the person who knows everything becomes an altar for the surrender of those desires on part of those people you know, because if the prarabdha is not blocking that desire for you, and if you approach an atmagya, the one who knows atma, the desire is met because the atmagya's sankalpa is free, the intention, and that's what we call a blessing. The intention is free of wanting things for themselves. So if you say, I want a pot of gold, and go to the atmagya, atmagya is not going to say, actually I don't think you should have it, I need it more than you. That competition is not there. There is no competition. And there is nothing that the atmagya is wanting from you. So therefore when you worship the atmagya, you get even the impermanent things met. This is how. And generally speaking, nobody says, oh, adhihi bhagavo brahma. Nobody says that. That's only in the Upanishads. That is what is called Uttama Adhikari. The archetype of the best student. The best student is only in the Upanishads, in the pages of the palm manuscripts. It's an archetype. So nobody says, please teach me self-knowledge. Please send me to heaven. Please show me which bus goes to heaven. Agni bus. Okay. Bus. That's all I want. This is why, and the Atmagya will never interfere in the desires. Will never say, you know what, you're wasting your time. I've never heard Pujya Swamiji say that. People go with all kinds of nonsensical, desires. What would seem to me to nonsensical. People will say, oh, I want this, I want that, I want to go bungee cord jumping, I want to jump off a cliff, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to gain this, I'm making this particular patent. I've heard so much, I'm having this, I want to get this thing patented, and I'm inventing something, I'm doing that, and I want to have a bhajan group. This one was very interesting. I'm having this particular, I'm writing a book on this, what is that called? One set of verses, Narayani, and one set of verses for Lord Vishnu is there. So please bless it and read it, and this is what I'm writing. Yes, you can write. Please write the foreword. Yes. Please come to the function that we are going to have a big celebration for this book, and we are going to have worship and yajna. Yes. Another man from the same place says, I am writing a book on Narayani. Yes. And we are also having a function. Yes. We are having, and it happened to be on the same date, because that's one date which was some big, when is that date when that Swarga door is opened, Vaikuntha door? Ekadashi. So it was on Ekadashi, appropriate for such a release of this book. So please write a few words. Yes. And the two are arch rivals. Yes. Who goes to one function, goes to the other function. Doesn't say, oh, you need to patch up. Why don't you to sit together, write one book? Why don't you, instead of writing this book, attend classes? No. You just say, yes. Tathastu. So be it. You don't interfere in the people's desire, because the desires cannot be interfered with. Because you're hitting your head against a stone wall if you try to interfere with other people's desires. So you let them go through that. And when they are tired, wired, you pray. And before they are tired, wired and expired, they come to Vedanta. They come to Vedanta. You can pray. You can have a sankalpa. That also comes true. This is what it is. That's why and then coming in this way, coming to this part of the Upanishad where Yama is starting to give the recipe for how to go to heaven, we see his mettle as a teacher. And he embodies a very interesting model of the teacher of Brahma Vidya. Very beautiful. There is no posturing whatsoever. I am somebody great. I have to, I need respect. I am someone who is beyond, beyond, beyond. Beyond means Atita. I'm Atita Ananda. I'm beyond Ananda. There's one cartoonist in California who calls himself Swami Beyond Ananda. So there's no beyond, beyond. Oh, all you lowly mortals, you are still in the world of food and drink. I neither need drink nor food, nor do I need to go to the bathroom. This is all useless posturing. Silly. You see how Pujya Swamiji is. Not above anyone. He takes people along. That's the thing. And that's what Yama does. He allows people the freedom to be where they are. Like, he doesn't argue with Nachiketa. He argues in the other one. There he really wants to bring out the seeker, because he cannot believe that the one who was asking for relative impermanence suddenly is asking for the absolute permanence. So there he is making sure that he is the correct student. That is the test. Why simply waste vocal cords, and teach someone who doesn't want to learn? Waste of their time, waste of the teacher's time. And then it's a tiraskara, a tatsara of the knowledge. You don't teach, you don't give this sacred teaching if the people are not serious seekers. As the teacher, you have to read the signs of the time and decide when to teach, when not to teach, when to stop teaching. Yeah. And you in Eugene have had taste of all three. So, right? Yeah. So this is what it is. Later it's going to be said, even in this Upanishad and in the Mundaka Upanishad which we are studying, Ashishyaya nadeyam. Do not give it to somebody who is not deserving of this. And to make sure Nachiketa is a Shishya, he puts him through this rigmarole of substitutions. We will see that. We will stop here. We will see Bhashya tomorrow. No, not even Bhashya. We haven't seen this either, right? No. Yeah. We will see both this and the Bhashya tomorrow. What death will say. Oh, we won't tomorrow. I'm leaving. Yes. This class will meet again. Thank you. This class will meet again on Tuesday, because I'm going out of town for 3 days and 3 nights. Like someone we know. So.
Maybe filled with boons.
Huh?
Maybe filled with boons.
I'll come back filled with boons. There we go. So. So I'm going, where am I going? Washington DC. I'm going to Washington DC. I'll be back. So Monday we don't have class. And then, so this class will meet on Tuesday. So that's a good place to stop, so that we see everything all together. Otherwise, what's the point? Just forgetting will take place. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So you're coming tonight, right? Yeah. No, I'm talking to him. You are coming.